Good evening, and welcome. Tonight's story takes you to a small attic room beneath a sloping roof, where a whole little world of model railways waits in the lamplight, stopped and quiet for the night. The trains are still. The rain is soft on the skylight above. There is nothing here that needs to move, and nothing here that needs you. If you drift off long before the end, that is exactly right. The story will keep itself. You do not have to follow it anywhere. You only have to lie here warm and easy, and let the words go on without you whenever you wish. Settle in now. Let the bed take your weight. Let your eyes close, and let the room come to you on its own. Before the story begins, take a moment to arrive in your body. You are lying down. You are warm enough. Nothing more is asked of you tonight. Bring your attention gently to your feet. You do not need to move them. Just notice them and let them grow heavy as if they were filling slowly with warm sand. Let that heaviness rise into your legs. Your calves rest, your knees rest. The long muscles of your thighs let go of their last small holding and sink. Your hands now. Let the fingers uncurl on their own. Your arms grow heavy at your sides, heavy and warm, like rope laid down in soft coils, finished with the day's work. Your shoulders drop, away from your ears, down into the bed. Your jaw unclenches. The small muscles around your eyes smooth out, the way water smooths when the wind has gone. And your breath moves through all of this heaviness, slow and easy, rocking you very gently the way a boat rocks at its mooring, heavy and warm and held, ready to listen, ready to drift. You are at the top of a quiet house in a small room under the roof. It is late, and the rest of the house has gone to sleep below you. Up here the air is still and warm, and the only light is a single lamp glowing in the corner, soft and amber, the kind of light that does not reach the edges of a room so much as settle into the middle of it. It pools on the table and the floorboards and leaves the rest of the room to the gentlest shadow, and the shadow is not the dark of outside, but a soft indoor dark, the color of a closed eyelid, warm and near. The ceiling slopes down on two sides, following the line of the roof, and set into the slope above you is a small skylight. Through it you can see nothing but the dark, and against the dark the rain. It falls gently, steadily, tapping on the glass with no rhythm you could count and no rhythm you need to. It is only the sound of rain on a roof very close above your head, the most settling sound there is now, and then a single thread of water finds its way down the slope of the glass, slow as honey, catching one thin line of lamplight as it goes, and then it is gone, and another begins, and you do not have to watch any of them. The floor beneath the table is bare board, old and pale, worn smooth in a path that runs around the edges of the room where feet have gone, year upon year, on quiet evenings such as this. A rug lies in the middle of it, faded to the color of weak tea, soft underfoot, the kind of rug that has been somewhere a long time and means to stay. In one corner there is a low chair with a blanket folded over its arm, and the blanket has the rumpled, settled look of a thing that is often used and seldom moved. Everything in the room has the air of having found its place and being glad of it. The room is full of a tiny world. It takes a moment for your eyes to take it in. and there is no rush to take it in at all. A long table runs around 3 sides of the room, waist high, and on the table lies a landscape in miniature built up over many years by patient hands. It has the look of a country seen from a great height, or a country dreamed with everything in it small and complete, and exactly where it ought to be. There are little painted hills, green and soft, with the green fading to brown where the paint is thinned. There are fields marked out in pale rose. A river of poured resin lies still and glassy under a stone bridge no longer than your finger. The river holds the lamplight along its surface in one long soft streak, and beneath the glassy resin you can see the painted bed of it, a wash of green and brown, a few small stones, a suggestion of reeds along one bank. It does not flow. It was poured once, long ago, and set, and it has been still ever since, holding its one bright streak of lamp, going nowhere, the most peaceful water there ever was, and winding through all of it, looping and crossing and curving back on themselves, are the rails, thin bright lines of track, polished by the running of small wheels, catching the lamplight here and there along their length, then dimming again where they pass into shadow, then catching once more. You let your eyes travel along the nearest rail, without following it anywhere in particular. It runs flat for a stretch, then lifts a little onto a low embankment of molded plaster dusted with green, then settles back down again and slips beneath a road. The track is doubled here, 2 lines running side by side, near enough to touch and yet never touching, holding their patient distance from each other the whole way round. There is something restful in 2 lines that run together and ask nothing of one another, only keep their quiet company along the miles. Everything has stopped for the night. The controller, a small box with a single dial, sits at the edge of the table near your hand, and the dial is turned all the way down to nothing. The power is off. The trains will not move. They are exactly where they came to rest, and they will stay there, and that is how it should be. The little box is warm to no touch tonight, its needle resting at the low end of its small painted scale, its switches all thrown to off, and it minds none of it. There is a smell in the room you notice now, the way you notice a familiar smell only after you have been somewhere a little while. It is the smell of paint, of the small glass pots with their crusted lids. Under it is the smell of balsa wood, light and dry and sweet. And under that, older and deeper, the smell of the old timber of the roof itself, warmed all day and cooling now in the dark. There is a faint smell of pencil, too, of graphite and shaved wood, from the little jar of pencils by the lamp, and the ghost of glue dried long ago that lives in the grain of the work table. None of these smells is strong. They lie under one another in soft layers, the way the warmth of a fire lies under the cool of a room, and you breathe them in slow and let them go, and they ask nothing of you, and they are part of the warmth of being here. By the lamp there is a corner of the table given over to the making of things, and it rests now as everything rests. There are the little glass pots of paint with their crusted lids, lined up small and patient. There is a row of fine brushes standing upright in a jar, their tips drawn to a point, dry and clean and put away. There is a coil of thin wire and a sheet of card with the soft shapes of a thing half cut from it, and a scrap of fine sandpaper worn smooth in the middle. A pair of tweezers lies across the card where it was set down. None of it is in use tonight. The hands that use it have gone to bed, and the tools wait in the lamplight, easy, expecting nothing of the morning, content simply to lie where they were left. There is a low stool tucked under that corner of the table, its seat worn pale and shiny in the middle from long sitting. You can see, almost, the shape of the evening it holds, someone leaning close over the little world with a brush no thicker than a hair, breathing slow, setting one small thing in its place and then sitting back to look. That evening is over now. The stool is empty, but the warmth of it lingers, the way warmth lingers in a chair after someone rises, and the room keeps that warmth, and so do you. You let your eyes travel slowly along the nearest stretch of track. It runs out from beneath a little tunnel cut into a papier-mâché hill, the tunnel mouth lined with tiny gray stones, each one set by hand and painted a soft slate so that no two are quite the same. The track curves out into the open, past a field, toward a station, the rail shining for a moment as it leaves the dark of the tunnel and meets the lamp. The station is the heart of it. A small platform of painted card, a canopy held up on matchstick posts, a building no bigger than your two hands together, with windows picked out in white and a tiny clock above the door. The clock is painted on. Its hands do not move. They show a time that is no time, and the station waits beneath them, perfectly content. Along the front of the platform runs a low white fence, and a row of little lamps on slender posts, each with a dab of yellow at its top, for a light that does not shine, and the platform lies between them, swept and empty, and at peace. On the platform stand the little figures. They are very small, smaller than your fingernail, each one painted by hand with a brush so fine you can hardly imagine it. There is a man in a long coat, frozen mid-step, one foot raised forever, on his way to somewhere he will never quite reach and does not mind. There is a woman with a tiny case at her side, standing patient and calm. There is a porter beside a stack of luggage that will never be loaded. They are all caught in the middle of small, ordinary moments. A wave, a pause, a glance down the line. None of them is troubled. None of them is waiting for anything that will not come, because nothing is coming and they do not know it, and they are happy. The man's raised foot will never come down, and so he will never have to arrive and never have to leave, and the not arriving is its own soft kind of rest. There is a little family near the canopy you see now. A mother and a father and a child, no bigger than a seed between them. The child's hand raised to point at something down the line. They have been pointing at it a long time. The thing they point at, whatever it was, has long since stopped mattering, and only the pointing remains, the small happy gesture held still in the lamplight, and it is enough. A train stands at the platform. It is a small steam engine, dark green with a thin gold line along its side, and behind it 3 little carriages with their windows lit by nothing at all, just dark glass holding the lamplight. It has come to rest here. Its journey is done for the night, and there will be no whistle, no movement, no need to be anywhere. You let your gaze rest on it, the way you might rest your gaze on a sleeping animal. There is something deeply settling in a thing that has stopped and is content to be stopped. The engine does not strain against its stillness. It simply is on its little length of rail beneath the dark slope of the roof. You look at the small details of it, the way the lamp has time tonight to show you. The little brass dome on its back, no bigger than a pinhead, holding a single point of gold. The buffers at its front, round and dark. The thread of gold paint along its flank, drawn by a hand so steady you can hardly believe it, running unbroken from the front of the engine to the back. The 3 carriages behind it sit close coupled, their roofs a soft gray, their small dark windows giving back the lamp in 3 faint smudges of light. And inside them, if you could lean close enough, you would find the little benches where no one sits, waiting in the dark for passengers who are already home. Above you the rain goes on. It has neither grown nor faded. It taps on the skylight and runs in thin threads down the glass, and the sound of it fills the room the way warm water fills a bath, gently, completely, leaving room for nothing else. You feel how close the roof is, just there above your head, and how the rain is on the outside and you are on the inside, dry and warm and held. Somewhere far below a pipe ticks once as the house cools, and then is quiet. The lamp gives off the faintest hum, so soft you are not sure you hear it at all. These are the only sounds beside the rain, and they are small, and they are kind. Now and then the wind leans gently on the roof, and the old timbers answer with the smallest creak, a sound like a ship settling at anchor, low and unhurried, the sound a house makes when it is comfortable in itself. It is not a sound that asks you to listen. It comes and it goes, and the rain folds back over the place where it was, and the room is quiet again and warm, and yours. You look again at the hills. They are not real hills, of course, and yet your eye treats them as real, climbing their gentle slopes, following the line where green meets the pale sky that is only the wall behind. A flock of tiny sheep stands in one field, each one a daub of white wool no bigger than a grain of rice. They have grazed in that field for years. They will graze there for years more. Nothing will move them. There is a little road of gray paint that winds down between the hills, and on it a single car the size of a bean, parked at the verge, its driver nowhere to be found. There is a row of cottages with smoke painted curling from their chimneys, smoke that will never thin and never blow away. It is always evening in this little world. It is always the soft hour before sleep. Behind the cottages there is a small orchard, a half-dozen trees of wire and green foam set in rows, and between them a line that might be washing left out, the smallest threads of white. A dog sits in one of the gardens, painted mid-bark with no sound coming out, and a cat lies along the top of a wall, content, and a hen or two stand in a yard, each no bigger than a comma. The people who live in these cottages are inside now, you feel, behind their painted windows, in the soft evening of this place, and they are warm too, and they are not waiting up for anyone. You move your eyes along to a level crossing, where the painted road meets the track. The little gates are closed across the road and open across the rails, just as they should be when a train might pass. But no train is passing. The gates simply hold their pose, white and red, neat and small, and the car at the verge waits behind them with all the time in the world. Beside the crossing stands a signal, a slim post with an arm of red. The arm is down, which on a railway means go, means clear, means the way ahead is open. But there is nothing on the line, and so the open way leads only into quiet. The signal keeps its promise to no one, and minds it not at all. There is a little signal box near it, a hut on stilts with a steep roof and a row of windows down its long side, and inside, you imagine, a tiny lever frame, the levers all standing at rest in their painted colors. No hand is on them tonight. The signalman, if there is one, has gone home down the road that winds between the hills, and the box keeps its watch over an empty line, its windows holding a little of the lamp, and it is glad in its small way of the quiet. The whole little world lies under the lamp like something held in cupped hands. You feel a fondness for it rising in you, slow and warm, the kind of fondness that asks nothing back. Someone built all of this, piece by small piece, over a great many evenings much like this one. Someone cut the card and mixed the paint and set each tiny figure down with a steady breath held. And now it rests. The work of it is done for tonight, and the maker has gone down to bed, and the little world keeps on being itself in the dark, needing nothing, missing nothing. It is enough simply to be looked at gently, and even that it does not require. You can see here and there the small signs of the making. A patch of hillside, a slightly different green where the paint was touched up. A fence post set a hair out of line and left that way, because it was near enough, and near enough was happy. a bridge whose stonework is drawn in pencil under the paint, the faint gray lines just showing through. These are not faults, they are the fingerprints of patience, and they make the little world warmer, the way a handwritten note is warmer than a printed one. Someone loved this. You can feel it in every small, careful thing. You let your shoulders settle a little deeper. The rain keeps on above you, soft and even. You let your gaze drift back to the station, to the little clock with its painted hands, to the man with his foot raised forever on the platform. There is no time here. The clock says so. The hands do not move and will not move, and so there is nowhere to be, and no moment that is passing, and no moment yet to come. There is only this one long evening holding still, with the rain on the glass above. You feel that there is no time pressing on you either lying here. There is nothing the morning needs from you that the morning cannot wait for. There is nowhere you have to be at any hour. The clock above the station door has stopped at a time that is no time, and your own clock somewhere far down in the sleeping house ticks on without you, and you are excused from it, the way the little train is excused from its journey, the way the signalman is excused from his levers, the way everything in this room is gently, softly excused from everything tonight. You think idly and without weight of the trains in their sidings. There are 2 more engines parked away from the main line, tucked into a little engine shed with an open front. You can just see the dark shapes of them in there at rest in the deeper shadow. They have been put away. They are not needed tonight. They sit nose to nose in the quiet, cooling forever, going nowhere, and the going nowhere is the whole of their peace. A tiny water tower stands near the shed, with a spout that will never pour. A coal stage holds its painted heap of coal that will never be shoveled. Each small thing has its place and its purpose, and each small thing is excused from its purpose tonight, and rests. There is a turntable too, set into the ground before the shed, a little disc of track that turns an engine about so it may face the other way. It is still now, of course, stopped at an angle, halfway between one direction and another, and it does not matter which way it points because nothing will run from it tonight. It holds its half-turn the way a sleeper holds a half-finished thought, easy, unbothered, letting it go. Beside it a heap of tiny ash and clinker, painted gray, lies where it was raked, and a small wheelbarrow stands tipped against a wall, and all of it rests. You let your eyes wander out past the station, to where the land falls away into the smallest details. There is a tiny bench beneath a tiny tree, and the tree is made of wire and foam, its leaves a soft, dusty green. There is a fence of fine wire posts running along a field, each post no taller than a pin. There is a little stack of barrels behind a goods shed, painted brown, catching one small edge of the lamp. Whoever made all this loved the small things most of all. You can see it in the care. A bench where no one will sit. A barrel that holds nothing. A lamppost on a corner with a dot of yellow at its top for the light. A light that does not shine and does not need to. Each thing is there because it belongs there, because a railway has such things, and putting them in place was a slow and happy way to pass an evening. There is a goods yard off to one side, a cluster of low sheds and a short spur of track, and on the spur a string of little wagons stand coupled together, open-topped, each holding its painted cargo. One holds coal, one holds what might be sand, one holds a few logs cut from a wooden dowel and stained brown. They have been shunted here and left, and they wait without waiting, the way a thing waits that has forgotten it is waiting, simply standing on its rail in the soft dark, going nowhere, wanting for nothing. Beyond the goods yard the land lifts again, and the track climbs with it onto a viaduct, a long, low row of stone arches carrying the line across a little valley. Each arch is the same as the last, a small, even curve of gray, and the line of them marches gently across the gap and down again. And beneath the arches lies a strip of pale field with the smallest shadows pooled where the lamp does not reach. You let your eye walk along the top of the viaduct, arch by arch, the way you might count without counting, and it is a soft and even thing to do, one arch and then the next, all the same, all still carrying a line that nothing runs along tonight. At the far end of the valley there is a second small halt, no more than a single short platform and a wooden shelter with a bench inside it. No one waits at the halt. There is no clock here, not even a painted one, only the little shelter and its bench, and a name board too small to read, a pale strip with a ghost of letters on it. It is the quietest corner of all the little world, the place the lamp reaches last and least, and it lies in its soft half-light at the edge of the valley, asking for nothing, holding its one empty bench out to no one, and perfectly at peace to be passed by. There is a footbridge over the tracks near the far end of the table, a delicate thing of painted girders, with little steps climbing up one side and down the other. On the top of it stands a single small figure, a boy leaning on the rail, looking down at the line. He has stood there a long time. He will stand there a long time more. He is watching for a train that has already arrived and will not leave, and there is nothing sad in it, because he does not know, and because the watching itself is the whole of his pleasure. You understand that, boy? To stand above the quiet rails in the warm lamplight, watching, expecting nothing, wanting nothing, only looking. That is where you are too. That is what tonight is. The girders of his little bridge are painted a soft green-gray, and where the brush has gone twice the color is a little deeper, and the boy's hand is the smallest dab of pink upon the rail. He leans the way one leans when there is all the time in the world, weight settled, shoulders loose, head a little tilted toward the line below. He is in no rush to come down. The stairs will keep, the line will keep, the evening will keep. He leans on the rail and looks, and that is all he has ever wanted to do, and he is doing it, forever, and he is content. The rain on the skylight gathers a little for a moment, a soft swell of it, and then eases again. You feel how the sound wraps the room. It does not come from any one place. It is simply all around you, above and over and close. The steady, patient voice of the rain on the roof, asking nothing, telling nothing, only there. You breathe with it without trying to. The breath goes out slow. The rain taps. The breath comes in soft. The rain runs. There is no effort in any of it. Your body knows how to do this, and you let it, and you sink a little deeper into the warmth. The warmth has reached your hands now, and the backs of your hands, and the tips of your fingers, where it always comes last. It has reached the place between your shoulders. It moves down you the way the lamplight moves across the little hills, slow and gold and unhurried, finding the low places, settling into them, leaving nothing out. You are warm from the crown of your head to the soles of your feet, and the rain is on the glass, and the little world glows on its table, and you have nowhere at all to be. You look once more at the long curve of the main line, the way it sweeps out from the station and around the room. You think of all the small journeys it could carry, the little green engine setting off, the carriages following, around the field of sheep, under the bridge, into the tunnel and out the other side around again. A loop with no end, a journey that comes home to where it began, over and over, forever. But the dial is turned to nothing, and the engine does not stir, and the loop lies still. The journey is only a shape now, a soft thread of silver laid across the hills, holding the memory of motion the way a warm bed holds the memory of the day. It does not need to move to be a railway, it only needs to lie there and be looked at fondly and rest. You imagine drowsily, with no wish to make it true, how it would sound if it ran. The faint hum of the little motor, the whisper of small wheels on the rail, the soft click as the engine takes a join in the track, click, and then again click, far apart, and even the gentlest sound a thing can make, but you do not want it to run. You want it just as it is, stopped and quiet, and the sound you imagine is only another soft thing to drift on, a click that does not come, in a silence that is whole. The lamplight lies along the rails in thin gold lines. You follow one with your eye, around a long, slow curve, past the field of sheep, under the little bridge, toward the tunnel in the hill. The line goes into the dark of the tunnel mouth, and does not come out, or comes out somewhere on the far side you cannot see from here. And it does not matter which. The track loops back to itself in the end. It always does. A model railway has no beginning and no end. It only goes round and gently round. But tonight, it does not even go round. Tonight it simply lies there, a thin, bright thread laid down across the little hills, holding the shape of a journey that no one is taking. The tunnel mouth is the darkest place in all the little world, a small arch of true black under the green hill, and your eye comes to rest there the way it comes to rest on the dark behind your own closed lids. There is nothing frightening in it. It is only quiet, only deep, only soft. The rails run into it, and the dark takes them gently and keeps them, and somewhere within the hill they curve, unseen, and come out the other side, and you do not need to follow them. You can let them go into the dark and rest there, where the lamp does not reach, where nothing has to be looked at, where it is simply quiet and round and still. Your eyes drift, slow and heavy, back across the table. There is a tiny station master in a peaked cap standing by the building, and a cat the size of a seed curled on the platform edge that you had not seen before. There is a flower bed by the station door, a smear of red and yellow dots, tended by no one and blooming all the same. The more you look, the more small soft things appear, and none of them asks anything of you. You let the looking go gentle and loose. You are not searching now. The little world simply offers itself up, a piece at a time, in the warm lamplight, with the rain close above, a hill, a bridge, a bench, a train at rest. Each one comes to you soft and then lets you go. A milk churn by the platform edge, a lamp with no flame, a poster on the station wall too small to read, a little square of faded color, a barrow, a bench, the cat, curled and still. They come up out of the soft lamplight one at a time, the way thoughts come up at the edge of sleep, each one clear for a moment and then gone, and you do not hold any of them, and you do not need to, and the next one rises, soft, and then it too lets you go. A churn, a barrow, a bench beneath a tree, a gate, a small green hill, the line of arches across the little valley, the dark mouth of the tunnel under the green, the streak of lamplight along the still glass river. Each one comes and each one goes, and you do not reach for any of it. The little world holds them all for you, so that you need hold nothing, and one by one they drift up into the soft gold light, and one by one they settle back down into the warm dark, and you settle with them, lower and lower, easy and slow. The rain softens just slightly. You notice the change the way you notice your own breath slowing, without deciding to, without effort. The taps on the glass come a little farther apart. The threads of water down the skylight run slower. The whole room seems to settle another inch towards sleep, and you settle with it. You are very warm now. The bed is soft beneath you. The little world glows on its table under the single lamp, and the rain is on the roof, and there is nothing to do, and nowhere to go. The warmth of the room has settled all the way through you. Your arms are heavy and easy. Your legs are heavy and easy. The lamplight does not reach the corners, and the corners are soft with shadow, and the shadow is kind. You could stay here a long while, watching the little trains that will not move, and nothing would ever change, and that is the gift of this room. It holds its quiet for you, and asks for nothing, and you let it hold you too. You let your eyes rest on the little green engine at the platform. Dark green, a thin gold line, 3 small carriages behind it has come to rest. It is content to rest. You watch it the way you watch something that will not change, and there is a great calm in that. The man on the platform keeps his foot raised. The woman holds her little case. The porter stands by his luggage. The boy on the footbridge leans on his rail, watching. None of them moves. None of them needs to move. They are happy where they are, and you are happy where you are. And the rain goes on above you all, soft and steady on the roof. In the engine shed, the 2 dark engines sit nose to nose. In the goods yard, the little wagons stand in their patient row. The signalman's box keeps its quiet watch over the empty line. The cat is curled on the platform edge. The sheep are in their field. And over all of it the lamp lies gold and low, and the rain lies soft on the glass, and nothing anywhere has any reason at all to stir. The clock has no time. The signal is clear. The gates are closed across an empty road. The sheep graze in their field. Smoke that does not move curls from the cottage chimneys, and it is always the soft hour, and it is always nearly sleep. The lamp hums so quiet you may be imagining it. The roof timber smells warm and old. The paint smells faint and dry. The rain taps and runs and taps. The boy leans on his bridge. The man holds his step. The little green engine waits at the platform with its 3 dark carriages, and the dial is turned to nothing, and the night holds still around it all. Nothing in the little world needs to move. The trains are still. The dial is turned to nothing. The power is off, and the figures stand where they stand, and the hills hold their soft green slopes, and the river lies glassy under its small stone bridge. You do not need to move either. You are warm, you are held. The roof is close above you, and the rain is on the far side of the glass, and you are on this side, in the lamplight, at rest. The tunnel keeps its soft dark. The loop keeps its long curve. The little lamps keep their dabs of yellow that do not shine. Everything keeps its place, and its place keeps it, and you are kept too, warm in the middle of it all. Rain on the roof, a single lamp, a little world that has stopped for the night. The green engine at the platform, the man with his foot raised, the clock with no time. The boy on the bridge, the cat on the platform, the sheep in the field. Everything still, everything soft. The rain on the glass, far above. The lamp, low and gold in the corner. The little trains at rest, going nowhere at all. Still now, soft now. The rain on the roof. The little world, asleep. Rain on the glass. Soft gold light. The green engine at rest. The boy on the bridge, watching nothing, content. Nothing that needs to move, and no rush, and no time at all. The tunnel, soft and dark. The loop, lying still. Still. Soft. The rain on the roof. The little world, asleep. Still. Soft. The rain going on above you.